Hello, this is Peter Klepper from Riks Europe. It's been quite an election night to elect the more than 700 MEPs of the European Parliament, and despite the predictions that it was going to be a massive upset, and a massive victory for the populist right and the right-wingers, I think the general picture is a bit more complex. It's true that in several countries, in particular France, there's been a massive victory for the populist right. The party of Le Pen, which was led by Mr. Jordan Bardella, they had twice as many votes of the party of President Macron. This caused the French president to call an early election for the national parliament. Something that was really worrying his own ranks. So we'll see what comes out of that. But frankly, he didn't have much choice because he didn't have a majority in parliament, and this was causing him to sometimes have to bypass parliament, making him even more unpopular. So he had to do this, and this is going to be very interesting. At the end of this month already, the French elections, they will also have an impact on the question whether Ursula von der Leyen will, get a second mandate as Commission President. Because yes, on the one hand, the center-right EPP with the center-left SND and Renew, the so-called liberals, fake liberals, they have around 400 MEPs in the European Parliament. Which means that it's a secret vote mid-July, but that in theory von der Leyen would just manage to make it through, maybe if she would rely on the Italian Prime Minister Meloni. However, now, it's unlikely that French President Macron would nominate her, would allow at the EU summit at the end of June to nominate her for a second mandate, because von der Leyen has really been a subject of heavy criticism in the French campaign. So France has been incredibly important, and I think we have to continue to look at France. However, also in Germany, all the governing parties, the socialists, the liberals, the Greens, they had less votes than the far right AfD. The far right, which had been in trouble, was kicked out of the ID group because of the fact that its lead candidate, Maximilian Krah, had been, starting to talk in, let's say, ambiguous terms about the SS. Not a good idea if you're a German far-right party. So basically, also in Germany, the European Parliament elections have a big domestic effect. They make the government of Olaf Scholz even more of a lame duck than today. If you look at other countries, it's a mixed picture. In Scandinavia, Portugal, the right-wing populists have not done very well. In Poland and Hungary, similar picture. In other countries, like, for example, Belgium, where you also had national elections, my own country, the far right has advanced, but less than expected. In Austria, the victories was quite big. In Italy, Giorgia Meloni has had a resounding victory, 28%, which is quite decent. So a mixed picture all in all. We'll have to see what the impact will be on the group formation in the European Parliament. I would not expect major changes there, to be honest. And yeah, that's about it. Of course, last but not least, I think we should mention how all across Europe, except for perhaps maybe Denmark, the Greens have been hammered in the European Parliament elections. This was expected. But it basically shows that people have enough. They don't find it okay that politicians tell them to give up their, combustion engine car and to buy an expensive and complicated electric vehicle. They don't find it okay that politicians force them to, make expensive renovations on their homes. Also in France, the lead candidate of the party of Macron She was really very much on the left, not centrist at all. She refused to even reconsider scrapping some of the European Green Deal legislation. So I think this now needs to be, in any case, a priority, a complete rethink of the European green policies. And the first step in that direction is to see who will be the new European Commission president. So for now, all eyes on France elections at the end of this month.